Right, in this video, I'm going to be putting the Manchester United 24-25 squad into a tier list based on how well I think they're going to perform this season for Man United. I'm very excited to do this. And obviously, at the end of the season, we'll be able to look back at the end and see what I got right, who I got wrong. I'm hoping for a big season for Man United. A top 4 finish, and I'll be very, very happy. There's a couple of players in here in the tier list screen that you can probably see thinking that they shouldn't be in here. And I'm not going to do everyone. Amrabat, obviously, he's not with United anymore. So, without further ado, we're going to jump right into this. So we're going to start with Antony. Do I think Antony is going to have a good season for Man United? I'm going to put Antony, if he can get into the D tier, compared to where he's been in E and F probably the past 2 seasons, I think it'll be a solid season for Antony. He does need to have a bit more output, and obviously now with Amad coming into the team, Garnacho being able to play on the right, Sancho maybe getting some minutes, don't know if he's going to leave yet. Be able to see what Antony's actually capable of, and there's less pressure on his shoulders now to perform, so maybe that might help. Next up is Atal, our backup goalkeeper. He's going to be F. He played once last season, I'm pretty sure, against Newport Town, and he did have a good game, but it doesn't look like Ten Hag loves to rotate the goalkeeper. So, obviously, he's going to have to go in F. Bruno Fernandes, if we're going to get anything out of this season, he's going to be in the S tier. I think Bruno is United's best player, and very, very important for him to play well, for the rest of the team to play well. So, it's a very big season for him. After he's just signed a new contract as well. Casemiro up next. Now, Casemiro last season was so bad. I'm going to put Casemiro in C. I still think he has a big part to play in this United team. And the first 2 games, he has been a lot better than he has been last season. With a full pre-season, no international football for him. Hopefully he's fully fit, no injuries, and he can actually perform to a decent level. Because we still need him in the squad. We're going to come to a guy later that's probably going to replace Casemiro as a first teamer. But Casemiro is still going to play a big role. Dalot up next. I'm going to put Dalot in B. I don't think he's going to be as important as he was last season. He was United's player of the season for me last year. I think he might have got voted that overall. But in B tier, I feel like he's still going to have a very, very solid season. Maybe if we can see a couple more goals and assists from Dalot, that would definitely raise his game for me. I'm going to put Matthijs de Ligt, new signing, very important signing. I'm going to put him in A tier. I feel like de Ligt is one of the best centre-backs that United could have signed out there on the market right now. And I'm very, very excited to see him actually start the game. I think he might start next game after, obviously, he came off the bench against Brighton and Fulham. And obviously losing to Brighton, maybe it's time to bring him in from the beginning. Amad Diallo, I'm going to put him into B or C. I'm going to put Diallo into B. After getting his goal on the weekend against Brighton, hopefully that has cemented his first team position as the right winger. And hopefully Garnacho can take that left wing spot from Rashford. Rashford still doesn't seem to be back to his best yet. Amad is such a special talent. People have been wanting him to get some minutes for years. Last season, only towards the end of the season, he actually started getting some minutes. And hopefully this season, he can be more of in and around the first team positions and fighting for them. You're going to find out who Ten Hag trusts in the big games. And we've got a big game against Liverpool this weekend. So if he starts that, he's definitely got Ten Hag's trust. Now, next up is Eriksen. I'm going to put Eriksen in F. I don't think he's barely going to get any minutes, if any, at all this season. Johnny Evans, I'm going to put him in E. I don't want to see him getting near the same amount of minutes as he got last season. He was really important for us last season, which is mental to say. Johnny Evans was important for Man United in 2023-24 season. You never thought you'd hear that. Sancho, I'm going to put him into the same tier as Antony. I feel like there's less pressure on him this season to perform, but he does need to actually try and get in his way back into the team if he doesn't leave. I don't think he's going to play that vital part. There's so many people in them positions now. That's going to be very hard for him to get a first team spot. Garnacho, I think Garnacho is going to have his best season so far. I'm going to put him in A tier. I think he's going to be very, very important for us. I actually love the way Garnacho plays. I love he's still a bit scruffy in parts, but I feel like it can easily be coached out of him. And I love Garnacho. He's probably one of my favourite United players at the moment. Next up is going to be Rasmus. I want to see a big season from Rasmus. I'm going to put him in B. I feel like last season he had a bad spell at the beginning, good spell in the middle, got that injury, and then he was back to the way he was at the start of the season. But if we can get a bit more consistency from Rasmus, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Lindelof is going to go in F. I feel like he is out the door already. Maguire, I'm going to put into E as well. It's going to be the 4th choice centre back this season, behind another signing that's going to come up very shortly. I do like Maguire. I feel like him staying around is very, very good for the dressing room, and he is an ultimate professional. He will come in and do a job when needed, but I just don't think he's going to play a big role. Kobbie Mainoo, I'm going to put him into A tier as well with Garnacho and De Ligt. Could easily be an S tier, but I don't want to put too much pressure on his shoulders. Mainoo was one of United's shining lights out of a really bad season, and I'm excited to see what he can do this year after watching him in the Euros as well. Malacia, I'm going to put him in E, and hopefully he can actually get a couple of minutes this season. No one knows still to this day what is wrong with Malacia, but hopefully we can actually see him put a United shirt on this season. Mazraoui, do you know what? Before him signing, I would have put him in E or D, because we signed him for cheap. Didn't think he was going to play that much of a role, but I'm going to put him in C tier. Now, he can play right back and left back, but at the moment he's been using Dalot at left back and Mazraoui at right back. And in that Fulham game, he looked very solid. I didn't see too much of the Brighton game, but the Fulham game, he was unbelievable. And for the 50 million price, he could be a hell of a signing, as like a bargain signing. Next up is going to be Scott McTominay. I think he could be at the door. So I'm not going to put him in F yet, but I'm going to put him in E, because I don't want to see McTominay get that many minutes this season. I know he scored some big goals for us last season, but this season I don't want to see that. Mason Mount, I'm going to put Mason Mount into C. I think this could be a very good season for Mason Mount. After having a terrible injury record last season, he had a good pre-season, played the first 2 games, and I'm excited to see what Ten Hag's actual role for him when everyone's fit. What part of the team is Mount going to play? I'll be very, very interested. Onana, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on Onana's shoulders there. I'm going to put him in B tier. We need to see a lot more consistency from Onana this season than we did last season. If United want to be pushing for trophies and top 4, we're going to have to see more consistency from the goalkeeper, and hopefully he can bring that. Rashford, I'm going to put Rashford into C tier. Now, with Garnacho coming into the team, and you've got Ahmad as well, Rashford has got to perform really well in order to guarantee his first position into the team. Like I say, it's going to be very hard for him to do that in the form that he's currently in. Luke Shaw, I'm going to do it on the basis of the fact if he is fit. I feel like Luke Shaw is an A-tier player if he is fit. That is a massive question. Honestly, when he is fit, it makes the team so much better. It's actually ridiculous. Agate, I'm going to put him into B tier. I haven't really seen too much of him, but he's going to be replacing Casemiro. And Casemiro in C, I can't put him on the same tier as Casemiro or below that, so I'm going to put him in B. Lenny Yoro I'm going to put him into D. Now, with De Ligt coming in and him getting an injury, I don't think he's going to play that much of a role this season, but it'd be very interesting to see how Ten Hag rotates the centre-backs. After last season's centre-back injury worries, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that shapes up. And then we've got Zertsky. I'm going to put him into C as well. I feel like he's going to rotate very nicely with Højlund this season. Already got his first goal for Manchester United against Fulham. Could have had a second, but he was offside. Unfortunately, hit him against Brighton. I really like, from the Fulham game, how Zertsky is different to Højlund. And we've got 2 different options now for the forward line. Now, there's one player that is missing, I think, from this list, and that's Lisandro Martinez. And I'm going to put Lisandro into S tier. I'll put my own image on the screen of Lisandro. Honestly, Lisandro Martinez, probably my favourite United player up there with Bruno, Mainoo and Garnacho. Martinez is unbelievable, and we need him to stay fit this season if we're going to be pushing up the league table once again. Him and Bruno, my S tier players. So we're going to run through the list then. Dead quick. We've got, in F tier, we've got Altau, Eriksen and Lindelof. E tier, Johnny Evans, Maguire, Malacia, McTominay. D tier, Antony, Sancho, Lenny Yoro. Then we've got C tier of Zertsky, Rashford, Mount, Mazraoui, Casemiro. B tier is Agate, Onana, Højlund, Ahmad, and then Diallo. And then A tier is De Ligt, Garnacho, Mainu, Shaw. And then S tier is Bruno and Martinez. Now, we left the big man to last. I'm going to put, I think, with the squad that he's got, I think Ten Hag's going to have an A-class season. We need it. We need it. After last season, we've had 2 trophies in 2 seasons. First season, we played really well. Second season, nowhere near the same level. And we need to see an improvement in performances. Not just results, just performances this season in order for Ten Hag to cement his place as the Manchester United manager. That is for sure. Let me know in the comments what you think of my tier list. Who would you change around based on importance? You got to understand this. It's not on their current ability. It's the importance that I think they're going to play on this United team this season. So let me know in the comments what you think. And also your predictions for Manchester United in this upcoming season. If you have enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.